Yeah, I don't like to complain without offering solutions, but going back to healthcare, some things that I think need to be done.
All right.
One, these are not necessarily in order of importance. Cap tort claims in medical legal proceedings.
Cap tort claims. Yeah, well, 2% of the budget.
Actual value of what it costs for a doctor that screwed up or whatever. Another thing that could be done is with the Social Security Administration, create some sort of an office in there, a fraud squad. May cost a few extra million to hire the people to do it, but you would save billions in what they could recover. Hospitals today, compared to years ago, I remember what it used to cost $2 to go to the doctor.
You don't look good.
I'm old enough to be your father.
I look enough like him, I'm secure, right?
But just as we have public power here in Nebraska, I think we need public health care.
Yes.
That is a non-profit. There are too many for-profit hospitals that are just ripping off the public because they can. I had to have a CAT scan several years ago, and I got a bill just after my health care run out after I quit working. And I got a bill for $4,000. I says, why does it cost so much money? They couldn't tell me why it cost so much money. And I went over to the billing office and talked to the gal there. I says, what makes this so expensive? Well, that's just what we charge. I asked that question several different ways. That's just what we charge. I says, well, I used to work at Channel 6, and I know Mike McKnight really well, and this is the kind of a story he would like to get his hands on. I'll see what he has to say about it. I got home, there was a message on the answering machine. Well, we just dropped your bill to $2,000. So, non-profit hospitals, I think, are the way to go on that. If we can figure out some way to get a public.
Can I interrupt with that one? Hey, Doc, aren't all of our major hospitals not-for-profit in Omaha?
I think, I'm not sure.
The Legion is not.
No, they're actually, no, the Legion is not a profit corporation.
Well, that's
Yeah.
sticking you is a different issue.
I believe the new specialty hospitals are for profit.
Yeah, the new specialty ones are. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Hey, can I make one comment on what he said
Yeah,
about
please.
insurance?
I want you to give.
Not that I'm against tort reform. God knows. Because I don't want to be sued as much as the next guy. But unfortunately, in the states it's been done, like Texas, it has not made that much difference in costs. I would love it. It would, you know, make a lot of us sleep better at night. But it hasn't really reduced the cost all that much, unfortunately.
It does a little bit.
A little.
Do you have one or two other points there? We'll get to that and get to a couple other speakers tonight.
I don't think we have it here in Nebraska, but some areas of the country, some of these big health insurance companies are, what's the word I want? They're not part of they're exempt from the antitrust.
All of it.
So,
Not the hospitals, I think,
no,
the insurance.
Insurance company.
Insurance that ought to be removed so that they are competitive. Another thing, and this is talking to a dear friend of mine who's a nurse at Creighton. She says one of the biggest expenses is illegal aliens coming in for health care.
Or drug addicts.
And drug addicts too. Illegals that come in for health care, I'm not saying don't treat them, you have to treat them. But turn over the INS. So that they know where they're at and they can be sent back if they can. The other one is on prescription for some drugs. They should not be prescription drugs. I get out in Haiti. They should be over the counter. They should be over the counter. I get out in Haiti 2 or 3 times a year. I'm working for a mission out there. And
I did a mission trip.
you need chloroquine phosphate or one of its generic equivalents. I usually take heroin when I get along to test with that, but I have to go to the doctor to get prescriptions for it. It is not something that's subject to abuse and should be available over the counter on an as-needed basis. You might have to get it from a druggist, that's fine. I tried to get some insulin for the pastor down there last summer because he was out, and I finally got 2 vials from a drug salesman who happened to be at the doctor's office the day before I left. Insulin, again, is not subject to abuse. It is available over the counter in Florida, but not here. So we need to-
I think all those have a level of significance and should be decided. Can I make an announcement? I budgeted 90 minutes, and we were at 90 minutes. So unfortunately, I've got to just take a couple of more
Insurance companies
questions.
now, you're saying,
And this gentleman has had his hand up for like a half an hour.
One of the things I'd like to talk about, we tend to think, oh, you in Congress can just cut whatever you want. How much do you really have control over? I mean, there's a lot of laws, a lot of things that say this has to be paid for. How much do you really have control over?
On it, the budget is broken down into 2 sections generically, no pun intended. There's the entitlement section, which is whatever the bill is, you pay it. The other is what's called discretionary. Discretionary means you can pay, we budget what we think would be appropriate. These are your typical programs that we all fight over. The non-defense, and the President said this, so he's helped educate us a little bit in his State of the Union address about a freeze in 2012 on the non-defense discretionary. Non-defense discretionary is 13% of the overall budget. So when we do a freeze on 13%, you're really not making progress on controlling the spending. So if you really, when we talk about getting control of the spending, we really have to dive into the entitlement programs, and Medicare and Social Security are the 2 biggest pieces of the entitlement pie. Now, Medicare is extremely difficult to solve, but we have to dive into that. We have to do it. We can increase, I think we can legitimately increase the quality of care and create efficiencies within the Medicare system. Social Security, I think, and Bob Kerry, when he was part of the commission to review Social Security, said, hey, Social Security is easy. You just raise payroll taxes to match what's going out, but of course when you have 1 employee to 6 or 7 retirees, that payroll tax has to be pretty high. So it's going to have to be a combination of things. But I'm going to throw one thing out there, Chief. Congress, we talk about that we need to have the guts to do things. And it's great being in a battle where you say, follow me, and you storm the hill, and you get to the top of the hill, and you look back and nobody moves. And sometimes on these type of things, we need to sit down with the people first and get the people to buy in. And Pat, I think the people are there. I think they are really there where they sit there and say, hey, we aren't talking about denying, but isn't there better ways to do this, and can't we solve these things now? And we have to have that discussion because Medicare goes upside down in a few years. So I want to call on Pat again. Yes, sir.
I got one question. We got so much money back from banks off the start. Why don't we just put it out there? Why are they hanging on?
You know what? That's written into the TARP law.
I know it is. But
Thank you very much. I was actually part of that demanded that be in there.